The show can't start until we crack open a bottle of Revelton. Whether it's their crisp, clean vodka, the bold spice of their rye whiskey, the rich smoothness of bourbon, or the original honey whiskey that started it all, every pour is a taste of craft and passion straight from the heart of Iowa. So pour yourself a drink, settle in, and get ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
From the top rope, kid and kill the roar so loud. Black and gold waving, we're a fearless crowd. Under them lights, the fight burns bright. Greatest team assembled, ready for the fight. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming straight for you. From a Hawkeye view, see the whole state rise. With a heart so strong and fire in our eyes. On the field, on the court, in the stands we shine. The best in the game, and the state is mine. Cover Hawkeyes, mugging, watch them break that press. Dropping dimes, hitting threes, never second guess. Full court hustle, hear the sneak aside. With the fight in our veins, we red at pride. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming straight for you. From a Hawkeye view, see the whole state rise.
All right. Good night, good evening, something. Andrew Barber, AJ Hawksby, we're here. We certainly don't have to be, but we're here. Yeah. 6-game winning streak coming to an end against Maryland, who's the worst team in the conference. And we allowed them to shoot 56% from the field tonight. Yes, they have Division I basketball players. No, they're not a very good Division I basketball team. They're not. I don't think they're actually technically the worst team in the conference.
No.
They play like the worst team in the conference.
They shoot. I believe they're one of the worst shooting teams in the Big Ten.
Yes.
We allowed them to do that. So.
Yep. So that was kind of Iowa's undoing. The defense didn't show up, and only Bennett Sturtz showed up offensively. So 32 points for Bennett Sturtz on 13 for 21 from the field. He's been a superhero in the last 3 games. I mean, he's averaging 30 points per game in February, but the man can't do it all. He needs a little bit of someone to come with him. And I think that's the story, AJ.
Yeah. No, I think so. I think when you look at the 3-point shooting, we had an off night. Okay, that's going to happen. We understand that. But I think the brain that Ben McCollum has, we all know, I mean, he's probably one of the most talented coaches in the Big Ten. New, fresh brain. He's a winner. You don't see a swing in foul calls. I always bring up refs, and I don't know why I always do that, especially when it's Big Ten. It's pretty inconsistent always, but you had how many foul calls in the second half? Definitely over 20, 25 probably. But Maryland kind of figured out you get to the lane and you get there first, you get to the basket first, you throw the ball up, they're calling it. There's a couple fouls where we backed away from them, didn't even touch them, and they called it for and ones or opportunities at free throws. So I think we could have maybe adjusted a little bit, and I know that's something that we can do in game, but when you're shooting poorly from three, this is kind of a worry that I've had. I didn't think it would happen against Maryland, but more like a Nebraska or a Purdue who we have up next. So it's a little defeating. Is it a look ahead, type of game? Probably, right? It's one of the trap games, if you would say. It's still an away game in the Big Ten. So I try to look at it positively, but it's difficult an hour after the game here and looking at the stat line going,
Yeah, it's kind of mind blowing how we blew this game. Man, I don't even know where to go with it because we certainly had chances, right? Like there were a lot of open threes.
Yep.
For guys not named Sturtz at the end of the game, like Cooper Koch, Brendan Housen, guys that are perfectly capable of nailing those threes. And they just didn't fall. Housen came in and immediately hit 2 threes, and I'm thinking, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
We got a little something going.
Flash of light.
Yeah. But if you're going to be that wide open, somebody besides Bennett has to be nailing threes consistently. And that's been Banks for a lot of the year.
Yeah.
But you don't want him shooting a ton of threes. Banks, and
I think he was 0 for 1.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot a ton of threes because that's not his game. That's not his best thing, but he can do it.
Yeah.
But also, you're not going to win if Alvaro scores 0. Alvaro didn't score.
Yeah.
And through this 6-game stretch, I mean, he's been averaging double digits in the scoring column, and we've seen 16 and 15 and 14 kind of consistently for him. And if he even just had like 10 points tonight, even if it was horrendous shooting, that would have been enough to put Iowa over the top. And so you kind of just see Iowa without any sort of a reliable second scorer. I mean, that's kind of been Banks. It's kind of been Fulgaris, but it's not reliable. It's not consistent. And that's really the big concern, I think, for the team. Is just finding a consistent and reliable scoring option to go next to Bennett Sturtz.
I mean, Koch 1 for 6 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3. He puts home one more, 1 3 there. Housen makes a 3, and this game is completely different. Both those guys just hit 1 more 3, and we have a different ball game. I do want to mention, and this is something that I was like, oh, okay, we're really not in a bad spot. I think 14 minutes left. They got their second player to have 4 fouls. It was Adams, I believe. Metcalf was already on the bench. They flip-flopped those two. Metcalf comes on the court there. He's their shot blocker, who did a good job down low. And both those guys remained on the floor pretty much the remainder of the game. I mean, they flip-flopped them for a little bit, and then I think they brought them both out at about 10-minute mark, 8-minute mark. Nothing. No driving. And Sturtz recognized it a couple times where he just blew past Adams, free layup. That's the IQ he has, but no one else wanted to get into the paint, I guess. On Metcalf especially, I don't know. I mean, he was jumping for blocks every chance he could. You got him in the air, take him.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job of maintaining verticality most of the time.
Yeah.
There were a couple of times where we could have gone like right through him or right into him and drawn another foul and gotten him out of there.
Yeah. I mean, they were blowing the whistle, at will. They were like,
right. Except for that goaltend play where Bennett Sturtz gets hit in the head and we review it and nothing happens.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know, like you said, I hate to bring up reffing all the time, but that's
Yeah.
kind of egregious,
Yeah.
especially because it's a 3-point game. It should have
Yeah.
been a flagrant one, and two
He
shots.
it was a
Two,
hip. It was a hip. He went through him with his hip. So I get
yeah,
that. It just should have been called a foul. Um,
yeah.
and I don't
It
know.
should have been another shot. I think it should have been F1
Yeah.
because any contact to the head or neck area should be automatic F1.
We had enough
So
reviews though. We had way too many reviews. I didn't even know we'd be able to go live before the game ended at this point. I was like sitting there going, all these Daytona fans waiting for qualifying tonight and they can't even watch it. It's on FS2 or whatever, which I don't know if anybody has, but I did want to point out. So, I mean, we had 12 more shots taken on the night. So we had all the opportunities in the world. Here's the stat that always I circled, at least they brought it up a couple times. I think when it was 12 turnovers, and I think we only had 6 points. We had 14 turnovers and only 9 points off those turnovers. So not even a point a turnover. So we're
yeah,
just going down there. We're getting a turnover empty. And I know we don't push the ball after turnovers. We don't push the ball at all. We are one of the slower paced teams in NCAA basketball, but yeah, it's difficult when you get those turnovers and then you're just not rewarded with anything there. That's a stat I kind of wanted to bring up. I think that's something that I'm sure will be addressed because when you look at a lot of the other games, I kind of went through them, especially on our last win streaks. Pretty solid in that regard against Northwestern. We had 10 turnovers, 14 points. So, more than a point a game there. Against Washington, they had 12 turnovers, 22 points. Really probably what won us the game there against Washington. But then when you look at the game tonight, it just we didn't come away with anything at all when it came to the turnovers and getting points off those. So it was disappointing.
yeah. I mean, that Washington game was awesome.
Yeah.
Staying up for that was worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. 100%.
And so you felt like that was really the shaky one because Washington's a much better team than Maryland, who we
Yeah.
lost to tonight.
Yeah.
And really, almost any of the teams that we've beaten in the 6-game winning streak are better than Maryland.
Yeah.
On most nights, with maybe the exception of Northwestern and Oregon.
Hang tight though. Northwestern, I think, is leading at half against Michigan.
Oh,
yeah, they're up. Well, hold on. Let's see if it's.
See, weird. I know college kids on the road, weird things happen. I don't want to I don't want to write this off, but it is kind of bizarre. And like you said, it's kind of wedged in before a really big stretch, which we can kind of flip to maybe.
Yeah.
But now that stretch kind of becomes, it was already big, right? And I thought it was bigger because of last night, Purdue beating Nebraska, putting both those teams at 3 conference losses and us sitting at 4. Well, now we're sitting at 5.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like we got a sweep against Purdue and Nebraska to really set the tone for the rest of the season, or at least get one.
We have to.
Because getting one will mostly cancel out the effect of a quad 3 loss.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter which one, because Purdue and Nebraska are both pretty similar in net.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter which one you get. I looked ahead at both Purdue and Nebraska's schedule. I think it would be better to get the Nebraska one because Nebraska has the easier remaining schedule. All of Purdue's tough games are at home, but they play Michigan and Michigan State and Indiana at home, and they host Wisconsin, who's gone on the road to Michigan and Illinois and won.
Yeah.
So that's not easy, right? Yeah. So it's, yes, most of Purdue's home games are tough for the rest of the year, but they're all at home. I think there's a chance that Purdue loses 1 or 2 games after they play Iowa. So I think it's more critical. We'd love to have both, but I think it's more critical that we get the Nebraska game.
I would agree.
In a lot of ways. Especially because we're going to play Nebraska again. But also it'd be good to get the Purdue game because it'd be nice to split with both Purdue and Nebraska if we could.
We just have to get quad ones on our resume. I mean, we're sitting. I think we're sitting firmly on a 9 seed, probably 8 or 9.
Tonight, after
especially now. I thought probably an 8 before this. You win again, doesn't do anything. You stay at an 8, but you pull off 2 against, 1 against Purdue and 1 against Nebraska. If you win another 2 and go on a, that'd be a 9-game winning streak then at this point in the Big Ten. You're looking at a 6 for sure at that point after that stretch. And then, the schedule really doesn't get a whole lot easier, but you do have Penn State in there. You play at home against Ohio State. You do go to Wisconsin, which has actually been easier than playing them at home. Yeah, it's so bizarre because that Kohl Center is always rocking. It's always one of the better Big Ten courts or venues. But yeah. I mean, I think both games are sold out, Purdue and Nebraska. Am I correct on that?
Purdue's for sure sold out. Last I knew, there were a lot of tickets to the Nebraska game.
Really? Okay.
A lot of tickets. So find your way there. Yeah. And part of it's a Tuesday night, the 17th at 8 p.m. Weeknight, 8 p.m. Who knows what the weather in Iowa is doing? That kind of thing.
Supposed to be gorgeous next week, I will say. So get out there.
Get out there. Get out there. There we go. But yeah, the next 3 are all quad ones. And then you wrap it up with Ohio State at home at Penn State, which those are quad 2 or below. Mm-hmm. And then you end with 2 games in March that are both quad ones with Michigan and at Nebraska. So don't worry, we have those quad 1 opportunities.
Yeah.
It's just, I think we got to go 2 and 3 in those quad 1 opportunities to really solidify ourselves.
Yeah.
And then also to maybe improve our seeding so we're not on that 8-9 line.
Yeah. And I think with the Big Ten tournament, how it's set up right now, we are the 8th seed, I believe, is what they showed on the broadcast. We have to be the 8th seed or higher. There's not a whole lot of room really to jump up, I don't think, into those top 4 seeds. It's definitely possible.
It was more possible if we had won tonight.
Yeah
It was far more possible then, but
yeah, I mean, that moves us to 9-4. Ahead of UCLA, possibly Wisconsin, just depends, but that game would probably matter a lot more. We do have a tiebreak against Indiana. We do get to play Ohio State, and we have a tiebreak against USC as well. So really, in Washington, I don't know if they'll.
I don't know if that'll really factor in, but we have the tiebreak on Indiana and USC, who are behind us for sure. Then we would love to get the tiebreak on Ohio State.
Yep. So, I mean, I think we're in a good spot still. I don't think that's a concern. And if you do make a run, let's say you do win, like we're saying 2 or 3, you beat the people you're supposed to beat. You beat Penn State. You beat Ohio State. Maybe you do drop 1 to Wisconsin. But you end up in the 8th seed. And you end up playing, Washington on, day 3 of the Big Ten tournament at this point, and then you go up against Purdue or Nebraska or in Illinois and you upset them. I mean, you get to the semis of the Big Ten tournament, I think that's automatically a 7 seed as long as your resume holds, and we can get a couple quad ones.
Yeah, it's a little tough to project. I think before tonight, a lot of brackets, if you looked at bracket matrix bracketology.com, which compiles a ton of bracketologists, we were pretty consensus 7 seed. I think we'll drop to the consensus 8, 9, that territory. But if we, like you're saying, if we win 2 of the next 3, we'll be right back into that 7, maybe 6 seed territory. So I think that's the hope. And like you said, beating the teams that we're supposed to beat will probably put us in that at least the single bye. We'll be right there. I haven't looked at Indiana, Ohio State, USC's schedule because I think those are the biggest threats to overtaking us potentially. But I know that some of them have some tough schedules. Like Indiana has to go to Illinois and Purdue this month. And they also host Michigan State. They go to Ohio State. So it's not easy for Indiana. And just looking at Ohio State too, they play a non-con game against Virginia, which is weird. They get to host Wisconsin, which is, like we said, no walk in the park because Wisconsin is road warriors, apparently.
Yeah.
At Michigan State, host Purdue, and then, they end the year hosting Indiana, so one of those teams is going to lose there, obviously. And then USC, like Baker Mazar, is in and out, but they host Illinois next Wednesday. They host Nebraska later this month. They play UCLA in a rivalry game. They play Oregon in a rivalry game.
With Biddle back, right?
Yeah, at Washington, host UCLA. So they play UCLA twice, and they host Illinois and Nebraska. So the teams around us don't have a very easy either. I think we're in a nice spot. Ben Markey, in July, someone tells you the Hawks are 8-9 seed in the NCAA tournament. I think you sign up for that. Ben, you're right, because we just want to be back in it. I personally would like to just win out for the rest of the year. It's not realistic, but I would just prefer that. Let's just win out for the rest of the year. Go on another 6-game winning streak right now and call it good. But okay, we can talk about Iowa, Purdue, and then Iowa, Nebraska. Last time we played Purdue at Purdue, we really were in that. We had every chance to win that game. I believe that was back in January.
Yep.
On the 14th. So
up at halftime. Up at half by 3. Just kind of let it spoil away, I think, in the later half of the second half.
And that was when Cale Combs was playing really well. He had 16 points in that game, 4 for 5 from 3. Just looking at the stats, we were close with them on the rebounds. They only out-rebounded us by 3.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. That was my main concern in that game because they're very lengthy. Kaufman, Wren, and that Clough are huge.
Yeah. And I don't know. Purdue's just kind of been up and down lately. Like they had that game against Nebraska last night in firm control and then let it slip and then regained control and won in overtime.
That was a crazy one.
It was wild. But yeah, they were up 22 in the second half and almost let it all slip away and had to take care of it in overtime. So they're not some unbeatable juggernaut. And like you said, Carver will be rocking. I think the fans will be geared up, and that will actually be an advantage because when Carver's full and sold out and going, it's a huge advantage for Iowa men's basketball.
For sure.
And also coming off a loss, I think everybody on the team will want to bounce back in a big way too. So like you said, I'm still nervous about the rebounding because we saw Maryland get a lot of offensive rebounds tonight, and they are not as good of an offensive rebounding team as Purdue is. And then also I'd be very concerned with Braden Smith and other guards for Purdue getting into that lane and cooking us in that regard, because we've seen that quite a bit.
I mean, tonight it was just way too easy. Too many just blow pass right past us. And then there was no help defense multiple times. Or if there was, it was an and one opportunity. So, yeah, that's concerning for sure. But we got a 4:00 start on Valentine's Day. And unfortunately, I have dinner plans at 4:30. So I'm missing it. I'm going to have to record it. I'm going to have to record it.
Well, I pretty much said we can't miss this one. Sorry.
I love it.
There's all kinds of time afterwards. We'll get the heart-shaped pizza. We'll be great.
There you go.
We'll have a good time. Or maybe we won't. If firework gets blown out, maybe we won't have a good time. I'm sorry. I let the performance of 18 to 22-year-olds dictate my mood for at least 48 hours.
Yep, I agree. Yeah.
Until the next game. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to look ahead here at this point and just forget about it because we have opportunities here. These next 4 are important.
Yeah. So, and yeah, McCollum just really needs kind of his first signature win at Iowa. And I don't know, would it be a good sign if his first signature win is Purdue? Because that was Fran McCaffrey's first signature win too.
Interesting.
I remember Jared Cole being part of that squad, and then winning in late February, maybe early March, against a Purdue team that was top 3, I think, at the time. I think it was like a Robbie Hummel Purdue team at that point. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that would be interesting, the parallels there, if Purdue was McCollum's first big win.
I'll just see if they recognize that on the broadcast if we start pulling away late.
I mean, maybe if Robbie Hummel is there on the call.
Yeah, Fox. So he's with Fox now, right?
I think he is. Could be. But yeah, I'm worried about. I'm worried about the offensive rebounding of Purdue, and then also like last night, CJ Cox was going off from 3. Lawyer can go off from 3. Smith can hit 3s.
Yeah.
Then they bring in the Omar Meyer kid, and he can hit 3s.
Yeah, we'll see though. I mean, I think we do guard the 3 pretty well. I think our issue is down low.
And letting guards penetrate and kill us that way.
Yeah, but I don't think that's necessarily Purdue's game 100%. I think they do like the 3.
Too much. They liked it too much against Nebraska, and it let Nebraska back into the game.
That's why they won't be going on my bracket too far, because they always seem to be that type of team. But anyways, we won't talk brackets yet, but
no.
Yeah.
So let's do it, AJ. Let's call it for this Saturday. Iowa Purdue. What's the outcome going to be?
Yeah, I like a low scoring battle, like a 74-72 Iowa win by 2.
Love it. I'm going to go the other way, predicting the Valentine's Day heartbreak. 75-67 Purdue. I think they'll just make a few too many plays, kind of similar to when we played them in West Lafayette. They'll just make a few too many plays down the stretch, and Iowa won't be able to keep up. Really nervous that, it's going to be just the one-man show like we've seen the past 3 games. Sturtz can't average 30 for the rest of the month. I mean, he's averaging more than 30 now after tonight. So
how do you pivot? That's what I guess my question would be, is how do you pivot from that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you just need Cooper Koch and Alvaro Folgueras to play with some confidence and shoot with confidence, and just passing up. This is kind of the McCollum system. Pass up the good shots for the great shots. But I think Cooper Koch needs to shoot some of the quote unquote good shots and needs to kind of pretend that he's Peyton Sandford for a little bit. Just needs to pretend that he's Peyton Sandford. He's not, but he needs to pretend that he is. And just needs to like pull up and go for it. So I think that's an interesting thing to say with Price Sandford coming to town next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Cooper Koch just needs to shoot to the best of his ability and not be scared to do it. And that's really what I think the season's going to come down to in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So,
we got to look for, I mean, we got Banks, Fulgaris, running 2A, 2B in a lot of games, at least in this stretch we had. Who's going to be 3-4 in production?
Yeah.
We need, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead to Iowa, Nebraska. Won't spend as much time. Maybe we can spend more time next week. Depends on if we go on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably Wednesday again. We've gotten into a nice rhythm on Wednesday nights, so I love it. But Tuesday, 8 p.m., you talk about a team that lives and dies by the 3. That's Nebraska.
Yeah.
And they're really good at it, and they space you out, and they make you guard all over the court. And basically at every moment, there's 5 guys that can legitimately shoot the 3 on the court, and the biggest one is Price Sandford. So that will be very interesting because Price Sandford's having a heck of a year. And I think Mr. Banks is going to be rolling around, or maybe Cooper Koch. Interesting note on Cooper Koch. He said he wanted to guard Martinelli, and they let him do it. And he did a pretty good job on Martinelli in that game, who is one of the best scorers in the conference. So maybe Cooper Koch will say, hey, I want Price, and they'll let him do it. But I think we have plenty of guys to throw at Price. I'm not necessarily worried about that. I'm just worried about Hoiberg and Lawrence. Those guys really get in there, dribble, drive, kick. And then Mast kind of does like a discount Jokic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Shoots a lot of 3s. Can mix it up in the post. Yeah, it's just they can attack you from a lot of angles. And then they bring in Frager off the bench who can shoot the 3. Jacobson who can shoot the 3. It's just relentless. So, well, like you said, we do a great job guarding the 3. I think that's going to be pretty critical against that Nebraska team, and that's why I'm predicting a win against Nebraska. So I'm going to go 79-68 against Nebraska. I think we kind of put some distance on them.
Yeah, see, this is the one that scares me more than Purdue, in my opinion, just because of all of the scores that they have. And can we keep up with that type of scoring? I hate to say it, but I think Nebraska gets us. I think it's a little bit wider of a margin than we both would like, but give me like an 83-72 11-point win. There's nothing we can do to stop Price and his homecoming to Iowa. I hate to do it, but I mean, the guy's shooting 47% from the field. It's pretty good. Pretty good there for a shooter. What's he shooting from 3? 40% from 3. I mean, that's actually what he had at Iowa, which is, I guess I don't remember him being that great of a I mean, I remember being a good shooter, but yeah, he shot 48% from the field, 40% from 3 last year. So
yeah, but he did it on a lot less volume.
Yeah.
This year he's keeping those numbers and doing it on a lot more volume, which is scary.
Yeah.
Which is why Ben McCollum really, really wanted Price Sandford to stay. So yeah, you can see why.
Yeah, I like Lawrence a lot. I've watched a lot of Nebraska games too this season.
Same.
Yeah, and at least the last 10 that they played. I think sometimes they get off to sluggish starts like they did against Purdue, like they did against Indiana, and then they came back against Indiana. I think they dominated Indiana in that game. Let me try to look back at that one.
True. But I think they're kind of vulnerable to a team like Iowa who's going to play slow, grinded out defense. Yeah. And they don't really like that kind of a game.
Yeah.
Which is why Purdue ultimately was able to win, because they were able to kind of, really control the tempo, control the game for the most part. Yeah, in that overtime.
When you look back at their lowest scoring game in Big Ten play so far, it was against a Michigan State team, very good defense. But they did win 58-56, but low scoring game there. It was at home too. They shot 32% from the field, 35 from three. So not even horrible, but not great. They got out rebound by 15 to the Michigan State team. That's pretty big, but yeah, it should be an interesting game. I'm really looking forward to that one. I really just hope we can beat Purdue and just kind of go into that game hot. Hopefully we just snap out of whatever that was tonight. So,
yeah, just need to snap out of the funk a little bit, get back on that right track, and I think we'll do it against Nebraska. But all right, we will take a break now, and then we will come back and we will talk women's basketball and anything else that you want to talk about that's going on, Hawks. So we'll be back right after this.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
Welcome back to Cooking with Billy and Willie. We're already in progress because great cooking doesn't wait. Today, we're turning things up with Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces.
You know, this chicken and the beef here and all this stuff is fantastic. It tastes fantastic with this Naked Dave stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, this barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, that's why we're doing the commercial for Naked Daves. That's why we're like pretend like we're naked. We pretend like we're naked, and then we eat. And it'll be a good commercial.
It will be, for sure.
Hey, why are you really naked? You didn't have to be all the way naked. We were pretend.
It's supposed to, I wanted it to be like realistic, like Daniel Day-Lewis or something.
Well, one thing you can keep the chair after this. Where's the director?
What's the problem? What is your guys' problem? It's fine.
What? Why is he naked?
I told him we were doing a naked commercial at your house.
This is like the worst porno flick ever.
It's Naked Dave. Look at Dave.
It really is good.
If you want bold flavor that doesn't hold back, try Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces. Find it at your local Hy-Vee grocery store. Ask your grocer to carry it or order online today at www.littlewolffoods.com. And remember, Naked Dave's, you don't have to be naked to use it. In the heart of Des Moines, one name has stood above the rest, Iowa Beef Steakhouse. Step inside and you enter a place where tradition still matters. where the atmosphere feels familiar, warm, and unmistakably Iowa. Service isn't rushed. It's personal, attentive, and rooted in genuine care. And before the main event, the freshest start in the city, our signature salad bar, crafted every single day. Then comes the reason people have returned for generations. Iowa beef, hand-seasoned with pride. Guided by flame, forged by heat. This is where flavor becomes legend. Served with the same care it was crafted with. A meal meant to be remembered. And whether the night calls for bold, smooth, or something in between, our bar offers a selection as rich as our history, including the old-fashioned we've become known for. Balanced, timeless, unforgettable. And long after the fire cools, the glow of this place stays with you. Iowa Beef Steakhouse, 1201 East Euclid Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa. Where Iowa comes for steak, done right.
Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your home, or if it's simply time to renovate the one you're already living in, you need an experienced mortgage professional to help you analyze your financing options and to make sure the closing goes smoothly. And that's exactly what you get when you call Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Kyle's experience and expertise, coupled with Wintrust's rates and programs, ensures you'll get the mortgage that's right for you. You may even qualify for down payment assistance. Before you reach out to a realtor, call Kyle and get pre-qualified, empowering you to start shopping for the home of your dreams. Call Kyle at 515-473-0546. Kyle Lehman Wintrust Mortgage, 515-473-0546.
I saw what you just sent me during that break. And guys, sometimes it's tough on the road in the Big Ten because Michigan down 16 to lowly Northwestern on the road with 14 minutes left to go. Michigan, a 16-point favorite. It looks like they're down 11 now, 12:40 something to go. So they're staging a comeback, but man, it's not easy on the road. Okay. Anytime you get a road win in the Big Ten, cherish it because it doesn't matter who it's against. It's a good win. It's a good win.
They're shooting. Michigan's shooting 5 of 25 right now from 3, something crazy like that. So
So guys, sit back and enjoy the rest of this season because it's been a pretty good season so far, and one loss doesn't derail everything.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of that, 3 losses don't derail everything for the Iowa women. Kind of a surprising home loss to Minnesota last Thursday night. We said it. Yep. Minnesota is actually a decent team, even though they're unranked. They're pretty comparable analytically to Ohio State. And talk about defense not being there for the Hawks, allowing 91 points to this Minnesota team, who can score, is just that's kind of the story there. And also, I don't want to call her out, but last time I did, it worked. So Addie Deal having a rough stretch. Even during the win tonight, which I guess we can flip to that against number 25. Washington came to town. Iowa pulled it out 65-56. Addie Deal got put on the bench in favor of starting Stremlow. And so starting alongside Stolke, Hayden, Chit Chat, and Feuerbach, Stremlow, Hayes, Houston, Deal off the bench. Starters playing bulk of the minutes. Hannah Stolke double-double, which is good to see. 14 points and 16 rebounds. So great night for her. Hayden, 5 for 10. Chit Chat Wright, 6 for 13, 5 for 8 from 3. That's an amazing night for her. And those 3 kind of really leading the way in that one. Nice bounce back spot. 19-5 for the Iowa women. And they are, just pulling up the standings. They are currently 4th in the standings. And then they play at Nebraska on Monday, and at Purdue next Thursday, the 19th. So, and then host Michigan in a big one. So, kind of a similar but different story where the Iowa women are looking for that double bye. Mm-hmm. They're right in that contention. They're one game ahead of Minnesota. They're a couple of games ahead of Michigan State, who they have the tiebreaker on anyways. But they get to play Michigan, who is 11-2. Iowa's 10-3. And also they get to play Michigan basically so they can gain the tiebreaker on Michigan. And really, I think the goal for this Iowa women's team, AJ, should be win out. Just given the schedule, I think at Nebraska and home against Michigan are probably the two toughest games left on the schedule. If you can make it through those, you're good. You're gonna. Yep.
Women's season ends March 1st, right, or 2nd, right around there.
Yeah. March 1st is the last game, and then that next weekend, kind of after that next Thursday or next Wednesday, I think, is when the Big Ten women's tournament will start, and then the men's tournament will be the week after that. Okay. So by March 8th, all women's college basketball will be done by March 8th. So we're coming up on that. We're less than a month away.
It's crazy.
So, and kind of like what we talked about with the men's, the quad one opportunities for the women are fewer and far between. They really only have 2 of those left, and then the Big Ten tournament where they might, depending on how they do, may get a quad one opportunity or 2 out of that. But double bye, huge for the Big Ten tournament, because then you can start your weekend on Friday.
Yep.
And win 3 games in 3 days and take the Big Ten tournament that way. Or at least I think that should be part of the goal too, is to make the final.
Yeah.
Big Ten tournament, and that may land you another rematch with UCLA, which is fine, but you'll take that.
Yeah.
So, anything that you're seeing from the women's team that you wanted to touch on?
Yeah, I mean, Chit Chat's my favorite player. She's a baller. 20 points against Minnesota, 21 tonight. That was her, I guess, her second highest point total of the season. She had 24 against Nebraska early on, and then 21 against Iowa State. But when you look at our losses this season, we got Minnesota, UCLA, USC, UConn, and Iowa State. Most that you question maybe a little bit, right? Minnesota, as you talked about last week, that's a sneaky game. I think it did sneak up on the ladies there. I just don't think our resume has many flaws. I would have liked to see that Iowa State game won early in the season.
And what I think the win against Washington does is kind of puts back on the table hosting.
Yeah.
The opening weekend of the NCAA tournament, because after that loss to Minnesota, it was really feeling like that could all slip away. And the team is really struggling without McCabe, which talked about it last week, but that's having a bigger impact because you can guard Iowa differently right now with one less reliable shooter out there, and you really need Deal to become that, or Feuerbach or somebody, right, to become that consistent shooter. And it's not happening. Both Feuerbach and Deal are really, really struggling with their game right now. Yep. And the only ones who aren't are the big 3 of Chit Chat, Hayden, Stolke, and that's not always enough against some of the better teams in the Big Ten. So
I think Feuerbach for me is where You're a veteran. You've been on this team. You played on this team. You've been here through it all. You got to step up because Addie Deal, and now we can make an excuse for, she's young. She's an underclassman. She is kind of learning throughout the season what her role was. We thought we saw some bright spots. Now it's like questioning Feuerbach and her reliability at this point. I think she's been really shooting very poorly. I just want to look at her stats real quick.
Just do yourself a favor and don't. Just don't. I don't think we need to dive too far into the stats because we can kind of see it with our eyes, right?
Yeah.
The eye test is pretty evident with this team. And it's kind of like what we talked about with Cooper Koch. Same thing with Eddie Deal. We need her to just play with confidence down the stretch of the season and get back to that form where she was, putting up 20. Not that she necessarily needs to put up 20, but she just needs to play with confidence, shoot with confidence, and just let it all hang out there because there's literally nothing to lose. And hopefully she can do that and build on it for, the rest of this year and then carry that into next year. Because that's what Iowa really needs. They really need her to become consistent in that regard to become kind of back to that national threat and be in the national conversation again. They need her to really accelerate in her development. So,
did our net ranking take a hit after the Minnesota loss?
I'm sure it did. I haven't looked at the women's net ranking in a long time, but I'm pulling it up as we speak. I'm guessing we're in an okay spot. We're 15th, so we're hovering right around kind of that 4 seed territory. It's not a 1-for-1 match with your net ranking and your seed.
Yeah.
But it gives you kind of a general idea.
I would like to assume that the Caitlin Clark effect still kind of plays when it comes to the tourney and the committee. I would, if you had to choose 3 teams sitting there at 14, 15, 16, 17, or you got 4 teams there, and Iowa's, right there at 15, 16, 17. You take the team in Iowa City because they're going to fill the stands. It's going to be, a primetime game. It could help you. I mean, that's just my thoughts. But we're not. I mean, I'm just looking at it.
Are you implying that the committee would do things that would make the most money rather than judging teams on merit?
That's why your blue bloods are just constantly sitting there, and that 1 through 4 seed both. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I look at, even on the men's side, I'm like, I mean, Gonzaga's Gonzaga. We know that type of thing, but I don't know. Sometimes I just look at like a Florida. I mean, is their resume really all that good? We don't need to go into it, but I'm just talking blue bloods and what can make the most money. But I think Iowa does sit in a good spot. You win the games you're supposed to win. If you pull off that Michigan win, that would be huge for the ladies.
Yeah, I think that it's a real possibility, and the goal should be win out for the rest of the regular season and then put your best foot forward in the Big Ten tournament. And that will be more than enough to have you hosting opening weekend, and then hopefully you can make it to the second weekend. Because I still feel, even with the struggles with the right matchups, this is a second week. This is a team that can make the second weekend. I don't feel as certain about it anymore. Just with some of the struggles, but I think that it's a team that can still make the Sweet 16. So,
no, I agree.
Yeah. That's kind of all I got going on. Where I'll leave it. Oh, Do we want to talk NFL draft hawks? Because I think there was some news with the NFL Combine that I didn't like. A lot of guys got invited to the NFL Combine. 9 Iowa guys got invited.
Yeah.
2 guys got left out that I don't think should have gotten left out. Gronowski and Aaron Graves.
Oh. I mean,
both of them got left out of the Combine. There are worse quarterbacks than Mark Gronowski who will be at the Combine, man. There are worse.
That's probably very true.
Yeah, and there's definitely worse defensive linemen than Aaron Graves.
Yeah, that one surprises me. Now, Gronowski, because the quarterbacks are mostly doing a lot of the throwing drills and things like that. I don't know that they.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they? Are they really benching? Are they really? I know a lot. There's going to be a decent amount of running quarterbacks that'll run as well. They want to show off their speed, but Gronowski, what's he run? You think 4.7?
Yeah, probably
4.8,
probably somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just that doesn't really surprise me. Graves does a little bit.
I can already see the path for Mark Gronowski right now. He's going to get picked up by the Minnesota Vikings. JJ McCarthy sucks. We already know that. They're going to bench JJ McCarthy. They know Max Brosmer sucks, so we aren't going to go back to Max Brosmer. Mark Gronowski, Minnesota Vikings quarterback. He's going to take it and run with it, probably as an undrafted.
Carson Wentz-esque.
It's going to be like Brock Purdy on steroids with this Gronowski thing.
Oh, that's hilarious. Or hey, how about this? How about this? Hold on, Barber. How about this? He gets picked up by the Bears. The Bears move themselves to Iowa City. They play at Kinnick Stadium. Did you hear about this?
Okay, I've heard about this. I do not want, under any circumstance, want that garbage franchise anywhere near this state. We do not need that franchise anywhere within miles of the state.
I'm serious when I say I think at this point, I think Nebraska's going to make a play. I think Canada's going to make a play. I think every single state that doesn't have an NFL. I mean, Michigan. I guess that's Detroit. You got Detroit Lions. Yeah, you got the Green Bay Packers. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you got Nebraska, Iowa, Indiana. Everywhere else has a team pretty much surrounding the Bears at this point. I think Canada makes a play at it, but anyways, so let's just play this out. Gronowski goes to the Bears, undrafted. Caleb Williams gets hurt. He starts for the Bears. And in Des Moines or Iowa City, wherever they decide to place the Bears.
The NFL wants to go into Europe so badly. I've heard Luxembourg is nice. The Luxembourg Bears has a certain ring to it, man. God. It's great. Send the Bears to Luxembourg. That's where they belong. Or Siberia. Does that still exist? Get them, the Siberia Bears. Perfect.
I don't think they would ever move the Bears because they're such a. Probably, and I know it hurts you as a Packers fan, but they're probably one of the more legendary teams in the NFL, historically speaking. But man, they need to figure their shit out.
Yeah, well, send them to Russia to figure it out. The Russian Bears.
The Russian Bears. Hey, it fits, right? It fits.
Yeah.
The Dagestani Bears.
Yeah, great. Congratulations, Caleb Williams. You're playing in Dagestani.
Oh my gosh.
All right. No, if Iowa ever gets an NFL team, it needs to be an expansion squad that is something new.
For sure.
It's not a transplant of a current team, because I think you and I are probably in the same boat where we would not switch our fandom. You aren't going to switch your fandom from the Denver Broncos to cheer for the Iowa Bears if it came to that.
No.
And I'm definitely not switching my fandom.
No.
And there's plenty of Vikings fans and even some Lions fans and probably some Chiefs. And, you know, there's a lot of fans of a lot of the local teams that wouldn't switch. So
it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen in an expansion team or the Bears coming here. But it is fun to talk about. As soon as I saw it, the group chat was blowing up. But I couldn't believe when I saw that. But anyways, so yeah, I'm not too surprised though that Gronowski wasn't invited, to be honest, because I think they are pretty selective in the quarterbacks. But it will be interesting to see who shows up at the combine for quarterbacks. I wonder how many get selected. That'll be once we get there. See.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to go too deep on that. I just think this is going to be a nice draft for Iowa. We're going to have some I don't know. I've heard conflicting things. Maybe Dunker can sneak into day one.
I think maybe, but all the mock drafts I looked at, he wasn't in there. I mean, midseason he was. But him and Logan definitely day 2 guys. I think X could be in there as well.
TJ Hall.
Yep, Hall could be in there.
I think those are kind of the main guys, probably.
Day 2.
Yeah, day 2 or for sure day 3 on those guys. And then, I think it'll be interesting to see where Llewellyn, because I think Llewellyn will make a roster. Probably a day 3 guy, but who knows? It could be higher than that.
Well, when you look at like all your past edge rushers at Iowa and how they succeeded in the NFL.
They end up having long careers.
Yeah, so it's like, why not take a chance late in the round 6 or 7? You know, so we'll see.
I think Stevens will get drafted, right? So
or picked up, one or the other.
Picked up, no, he's definitely getting picked up somewhere. So it's good. It'll be another good draft year for the Hawks. So hopefully we can get some skill position guys going in future years. Starting with Gronowski, though. Start it up. Minnesota Vikings, Gronowski. Or Luxembourg Bears, Gronowski. No. All right. You got anything else, Hawks, for me, AJ, before we call it a night?
We're going to turn the page tonight. I'm just going to turn the page over. And we're going to look forward to hopefully a big weekend.
Yeah, hopefully a couple of big wins
against Purdue. And just try to stay positive here. I'm going to sleep this one off and turn the page. So,
come back next Wednesday with 2 wins in our pocket for the men's team.
Let's do it.
And feel way too good about ourselves. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate you all tuning in and listening. Thank you for being here a little late on a Wednesday night. But we'll probably be back next Wednesday to bring you more Hawks. So have a great night and go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Talking football, talking hoops, every sport in between. IOWA, yeah, you know what I mean. From a Hawks eye view, see the whole state rise. With a heart so strong and fire in our eyes. On the field, on the court, in the stands we shine. The best in the game, yeah, the state is mine.